So we're doing zombie apocalypse. Wish you were quiet and quicker we go down with the notes. So I need you to just sit quietly for a little bit. Okay, so we want to solve the slope from the tables and write a linear equation to be able to annihilate a zombie. So how would we find the slope? What would we do first to find the slope? What would you do to find the slope here, Jimmy?
You would take 2 of the y's and 2 of the x's and do the y squared.
Good. So can I just choose any 2?
Yeah.
Yes. So what 2 do you want to choose?
0, 0.
0, 0, and what else?
2 and 6.
2, 6. Okay, so we're going to find our slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 0 over 2 minus 6. Excuse me, 2 minus 0. And just remember, these that are up and down above each other need to be for the same point. You have a question, Aiden? Okay, so we get 6 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Our slope is equal to 3. Thank you, those of you who are sitting quietly. I need you to just sit quietly for a little bit, please. Thank you, ladies. So my equation of a line is y equals mx plus b in slope-intercept form. So where do I put the 3? It's the m, so 3x plus b. So now a hand, please, for what do we do to find the y-intercept of the b? So any point or all the points? Okay, which one do you want to use? Okay, 2 and 6. So we're going to start with 0, 0. So I'm thinking that you were thinking it might be easier if you put the 0, 0, right? Yeah, good. Like that, making it easier on yourself. So then 0 equals 3 times 0 plus b. And so b is equal to 0. So our equation of our line, we can use this. And our equation of our line will be y equals 3x plus 0 or 3x. Yes, Stephen?
How come you can't just look at like the table and see that like the negative is there and positive there, so whatever's in the middle? Why can't you do that?
So you have to know, you have to find a y-intercept also. You're not just finding the slope, you're finding the y-intercept also.
No, not the slope. I mean like the y.
So,
can you find it in the
I should ask me that later. Okay. So our slope is 3, which is the same thing as 3 over 1 if we want to write it as a fraction, right? And our y-intercept is 0. We need to write the equation of our line. We found out that the equation of our line is y equals 3x. So we need to know if that's a linear proportional relationship. So could we make this ratio there with the 3x over something? So a ratio would be like 5 over x equals 2 over 8, for example. So a fraction equal to a fraction. So would this be an example of a proportional relationship? If we make a ratio equal to a ratio. If we make this into a ratio equal to a ratio or proportion. Is y the same thing as y over 1? Yeah. Is 3x the same thing as 3x over 1? Yeah, so we have a proportion there. Okay. What if it was y equals 3x minus 7? This would not be a linear relationship, linear proportion. Why? So this one, the y-intercept is -7. What's the y-intercept here? 0. So it has to go through the origin in order for it to be a linear proportional relationship. So this is yes, goes through the origin. So you're going to answer that on each one, yes or no, and explain. Okay, so I'm going to have somebody pass out the worksheet, and then we're going to talk about how to graph them. Thank you, Will.
Like, look,
So this was just
you
another.
could obviously see there's a negative and there's a positive too, like -1 and 2. Why can't you just look at the middle?
This one here does not. This is not linear. Try to get right on that.
And this is still like why can't you just see since there's a negative here and a positive here and this is 0, why can't you just see that
I do that every day.
on the line?
I'm sure that makes like a day. I knew it. I knew it. You can tell.
Because like X,
So you just need that pattern all the way around, getting it.
Can I copy?
no, I'm saying for me.
Oh, okay.
X is a -1 or positive 1.
Thank you very much. It's not always that easy. Okay, so say we. Thank you. Is there anybody who did not get the worksheet? Okay, so when you go to graph it, we haven't done one on the worksheet yet, but when you go to graph it, you're going to get an equation, you're going to graph that equation. So suppose I went to graph my equation, and I went to graph it, and I graphed it like this. Is that sufficient, do you think? No, so I need to make sure that every line goes through one and only one zombie. So what's wrong with this line? Yeah, so I didn't extend it far enough. I need to extend it farther so that I can see which zombie it goes through. So this was just a pretend one. I just drew that there so it goes through this zombie. So whatever that equation was, you'd go over to that zombie and write that equation over here in this part. Okay? So I want to see you draw at least one line that kills a zombie before you go. Okay? That's your homework.